But you're right, Al. Like, we can't win for losing, because either way, black people are going to be screwed until we stop waiting for somebody to save us.
God, we say that every week.
Right. And then it says that's what they meant about drain the swamp. So you mean that we get all the black people out of there, we're going to drain the swamp? I mean, you might be right. I mean, it has so many meanings. The wine says it would take us to go out and tear this country down. Well, that, or we can build each other up. Because I think that would be more productive if we were to build each other up, opposed to doing something like that, because that's kind of what they expect for us to do, which is why they have all of these measures in place. Make sure you go to jail, for jaywalking, looking sideways, wrong at somebody, and all this other stuff. And so if we would just practice group economics, we wouldn't have those cares. Not the Democrat, Republican, none of that stuff would be it wouldn't matter to us at all if we were doing what we were supposed to be doing. But Amanda, you say we voted for black people. Corinne Brown. Don't get Donovan started on Corinne Brown.
The Queen Corinne Brown.
To Amanda's point, yes, like she said, y'all voted for Corinne Brown, but it sounds like, too, she did some good things, but
she did.
She got caught up to the tune of almost $1 million of swindling some money.
From kids.
For the kids. It was supposed to be a scholarship fund to which only $1,200 of the scholarship went to some kids.
Went to one child.
It went to one child. $1,200 went to one child, and then almost the rest of the $1 million, she was at Beyonce concerts and,
Redskin games, box games.
Doing it big and
then tries to deny it by, they've got her withdrawing money from the ATM machine. And then when they did her finances, there's $2,000 of her debts that she can't cover, but yet she's innocent. And what she wants to do now is appeal it. Stay out of jail to appeal. Wait, and you shouldn't appeal. But no, you need to go to jail right now, like everybody else would. Because while she's appealing, if she dies while she's appealing, that conviction gets thrown out. Because remember, I'm not going to die with felon on my tombstone. Look.
I don't know. I don't know if I really want Corinne Brown to go to jail. I think there's a lot of people who've done some of the same things she's done.
Exactly. But the point is this. She was fit enough to run for Congress again. So...
yeah, I mean, then also to your point, she should have known that as a black woman...
Keep your mouth closed.
Well, no, not only that, but at black being the opposite word, you can't do what they do and get away with it. I mean, damn, that she was looking at, 200 years or something?
200 something years.
Yeah. Al says, Jason of Star Command, Sigmund, the Sea Monster, Far Out Space Nuts, Dr. Shrinkley, and Land of the Lost. Oh my God, you guys are walking TV guys. And Jonelle says, we won't be great without facing reality and rejecting white lies, false images, and white names, and embracing the truth. You don't make slaves with truth. No, absolutely. But see, that's the thing.
Preach it.
And that's kind of what I'm going to talk about with Joseph's question. We reject the truth. Black people are to the point to where, not all, but some, we don't want to know the truth. Even when it's presented to us, we're like, sounds good. But, I'm just kind of used to my thing. Cognitive dissonance is what they call it. I even was presented with the truth, and I can see that it's true. I'm just so used to what I've been taught. And so the wine says, good.
Sorry.
Let them expect. No, it's okay. It's cold season. Don't worry. You good. We not all, prim and proper here. Oh, my God, you're coughing. Dewan says, freedom isn't free. Yes. I say that a lot. Who was it that said that? Is it Asada Shakur who said that? Somebody said it. Freedom is not free. And I like to use that a lot, especially with the case of Colin Kaepernick, when people were saying, oh my gosh, he risked his career, he don't have no money, or he didn't get a new contract and all sorts of stuff. But it's like, well, some people like him, they realize that freedom isn't free, and it's going to cost me something. I can't be one of the dudes who keep saying, well, I want to be free, but I don't want it to be me to do it. I want it to be you, Donovan.
And I paid the price.
Right. Oh, yes, you did. And so Jonelle says, we need a detox from the whitewash, and we need to embrace the truth. We are drunk in the lies and need to sober up and do the math. Yes, that's going to take for us to do that, though. Nobody else is coming to do it. Nobody's going to say, okay, you've been lied to. And so, therefore, you need to believe the truth. I mean, if they did that, we'd probably be like,
There's always going to be an Omarosa or somebody that's going to take a different narrative, no matter what.
And then, so, let's
Every
see.
group. Every group.
Joseph says, once you build up, they come in like what they did in Black Wall Street. Yes, they are. Which is why they spend a lot of time trying to make sure we don't get there. But we are so much wiser now. We have $1.3 trillion already. We're just not using it right. We're giving 97% of that away to everybody else. And so we are far better off than we were, I think, than they were in, right after slavery during Jim Crow. Those people had nothing. Those people left with literally their torn clothes on their backs. And they made something out of nothing. And here we are. We have something, but we don't want to pull it together because we got fooled by the false idea of civil rights. And then so Al says, HR puff and stuff. You know what, you guys?
Yeah. Anybody remember Lidsville? That was my favorite, Lidsville.
I never even heard of that. And Dewan says, plus, we are all under the Black Identity Extremist list. Yeah. You're on
D
it.
is.
No, you're on it. If I'm on it, you on it, okay? We going hand in hand on the list, okay?
I just produced the show, but y'all can take her in chains.
Don't try to coon out, brother. You was there with me, okay? And then you say, and then Billy says, yes, land of the lost. Y'all wildin'. Mm-hmm. And he also say Bigfoot and Wild Boy.
Oh, that was a classic. I love that show. TV. I love that show.
Oh my God. I never even heard of most of those shows. My mom and daddy wasn't having you just sitting up under the TV all day. You was going to do something. Al says, unfortunately, the Inland Empire will never be the same until Dr. Donovan Sadiq is voted to city council.
That's right.
Yeah, he doesn't want that job anymore.
Yeah, you come a joke after you lost twice.
Just like, forget you guys. He's going to be a billionaire without it. He doesn't need that.
Yeah, well, I was going in there initially to jump into the trough of tax money and help myself.
Oh, yeah, we know. That's why we got to keep this Negro up out of here. And then, as you said, we'd have to get rid of these Arab names, too. I need to think of a good name. What would be a good name for me?
Boomquisha.
Boomquisha. Oh, wait. Me and Donovan did a show on Wednesday, and he said, what's up with people with black women and black people naming their kids all kind of stuff? He says, like, Shaquaqua.
I did. Shaquaqua.
I ain't never heard nobody be called no Shaquaqua. You tripping now, okay? Godly. And then Jonelle says, it says exactly, we reject the truth due to being raised in lies like how we embrace Santa Claus, but allegedly we don't want to be lied to. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, listen, I grew up in the Nation of Islam, and we never believed in Santa Claus. I never taught that to my daughter, Santa Claus, and all of that. We just didn't do it. So, yeah, I don't even know why parents teach their kids that kind of. I guess it's cute and fun after a while, but when you're arguing with a 10, 11-year-old, there is Santa Claus. Yeah. No, baby, there's no Santa Claus.
Tooth Fairy, stuff like that.
And then they're distraught, And then Al says, freedom isn't free. That Pepsi free was terrible. Oh, my God.
Yeah, it Pepsi one, Coke one, or whatever that one was.
All of it is terrible. All the soda is terrible. Stay away from it. And Dewan says, plus, we are all under that Black Identity Extremist list. Okay, so everybody, somebody else said that. And you're laughing. And Jonelle says, once we break free from BS, we look so Haitian. Do we really? Do hell. And then Billy says, oh my God, he's the only black man that remember that show. Some people will argue it's Donovan really black.
Well, the thing is, here's the thing. I want everybody to remember this. Those shows, by the time 10 o'clock rolled around, those shows were over. And you got ready for American Bandstand and then Soul Train.
So we watched Kung Fu Theater.
Yeah, Kung Fu Theater.
You guys remember that? We watched Kung Fu Theater.
We watched that. Mm-hmm.
And then what's the ones with Johnny Robot and
it was on Channel 56 on UHD.
Yeah, we watched those, and then you had to take your ass outside. Okay,
exactly.
And then but Billy says back to real life. Yeah, back to real life. And Amanda says, Al, how did the Texans do today? So y'all want to bring that football stuff over here, huh?
Cowboys Raiders 5:30 today.
Oh, I see. Dewan says, they all on our page. They're watching you right now, recording you, and you're going into some archive in Washington, D.C. You think I am? You think I'm that important? It's funny. I can't talk to my dad on the phone. If he hears or something, he's like, they listening to us. They tapping my phone. See. So we got to be careful. He wanted to tell me some things because my dad is getting older and he's been in the Nation of Islam a long, long time. So he's seen some things You wouldn't believe the things that he's seen, the things that he sees now, but he wouldn't tell me over the phone. We had to be in my car.
Right.
And then, we talked for like an hour or so, and he just dropped a lot of stuff on me. I'm like, word? Really? Oh, all right. And then Billy says Queenetta. That's a good name. Queenetta. Y'all.
Well, did I tell you about remember the other name I told you? I have an actual cousin. Tell her about that.
Oh, his actual cousin's name is Kunteta. What is it?
Kunta Kanita.
Kunta Kanita.
And she was named, that's when Roots had broken out.
She was named after Kunta Kinte. Kunta Kanita.
And my aunts know nothing about Africa other than what they saw on that show.
I had to change my name really quick as soon as I got 18 some doggone Kunta Kanita.
Yeah, she goes by Netta. Yeah.
I bet she does. And then Al says, hey Donovan, you said it was Wonderbug. How about Hanna-Barbera Speedy Bug?
Speed Bug, that's what it was. I'm sorry. Yeah. Wonderbug, Speed Bug is one of those ones.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be called Boonquisha, Joseph. No, Boonquisha. Then it says Demetra Dasani.
How about Justice?
Justice?
Demetra Justice, like poetic justice. You got the braids and stuff
Justice.
Like that. Justice? What's that?
How about just Demetra? Demetra means Greek goddess. I'm not Greek, I don't think. I don't know where I do kind of heard the backstory of how I maybe have gotten my name. Mm-hmm. No, I know how I got my name, but the backstory of how my sister may got
I always wondered that. Amanda,
It's actually Amanda. Amanda
Gotcha.
spelled Amanda.
Gotcha.
And so Benny says, hey, what did you miss? You didn't miss anything. You are right on time.
Can I throw something out there?
Yes, you can.
Are you happen to have heard about the murder of the basketball player Lorenzen Wright?
Yes. And we're going to talk, don't forget, he wants to talk about the murder of, what was his name?
Lorenzen Wright.
Lorenzen Wright.
He was murdered in Tennessee.
Discovered he was murdered in Tennessee, and they found his murderer, which / his ex-wife, out here.
Yeah.
Up the street from you.
Up the street, yeah.
You could have met her at the club, and, she
what club? The Metro's closed.
The Metro's closed. We could have met her at Winco, getting the chicken.
Some chicken. Mm-hmm.
And you could have, wow.
Got the story. I could have got the scoop.
Or you could have got the axe.
Right. And the sad thing is, he has two twin boys that play basketball out here in the Inland Empire, and they picked her up on a warrant. And they've shipped her back to Tennessee.
Jesus Christ. And then so Al says, my Texans lost to Amanda's Jags, 45-7. God damn it. And that's what y'all get. Because y'all ain't supposed to be watching or talking about no football anyway.
Not this season. Boycott.
What's football? What's the NFL? What's football? Mm-hmm. I don't know what that is.
Right.
I'm acting like I watched it in the first place, but
let me ask you this: it's the holiday season. Do you have any recommendations and things that people that are following Holiday Madness?
Recommendations for people following Holiday Madness?
Should they do it? Should they not do it?
Write that down because I'm gonna get to that in just a second. Don't forget these questions. Okay. Don't forget these questions. Nice question. So, if Billy says Demi Goddess, okay, we getting there. We getting there. And then it says slept in car. Who slept in the car? What I miss? Who slept in the car?
That has to do with Speed Buggy. Sometimes they do that too.
So that y'all talking about the cartoons again?
Yeah.
And then Dewan says, when it comes to Omarosa, what people like this don't seem to get is you're nothing to these crackers. He gonna keep crackers, but a buffer for black people to blackface, and your major and only brand is black people. And let's see.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Ooh, let's see. It says, quote, unquote, our race, and that's you base and foundation ones. You're no longer able to help with that base one. I think it said once you lose your foundation, black people, and they can't use your ass for that anymore. They kick you to the curb because you're no longer relevant. I'm not saying don't go after your money. Most of us do some type of work for white society, but don't dog your race, your women, and play yourself, because in the end, guess where your ass got to go back to? That's right.
That's true. Very true.
That's why I asked, is she welcome? Is she coming to the cookout? A lot of people are like, no, we don't care where Omarosa eats as long as she doesn't eat with us.
Honestly, though, I really do believe they got rid of her because she wasn't delivering the black vote or to change the narrative.
We knew that.
Yeah, they didn't know that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, we knew Omarosa.
Because they think we're all the same. They think, okay, well,
now
here's
that I do agree.
Yeah, here's a sister. Oh, yeah, she's popular. And black people, oh, Cardi B. We'll follow anybody that's famous, and that's what they think.
I mean, but come on, they could have known that Omarosa wasn't hot after she took the knife out of Kwame's back 14 years ago.
Well, you got to remember, though. I mean, she's educated, whatever. They're thinking, oh, she has all the tangibles.
Right. And Amanda says, well, how about Tarishi?
Mm-hmm.
Donovan's not in love with Tarishi, but it could work. Maybe we can string all the names together as I come on here. I am Boom Quisha, Queen Netta, Tarisha, or Tarishi rather, and Shaquaqua. And Samuel says, "Up with Jesus, down with Santa." Yes, that was the battle cry of the minister. I think it was about 2 years ago when he first asked black people to boycott Christmas and start shopping black, to starve the economy of our black dollars. He says,
and how did that do?
It did all right. It actually really did do all right. The numbers weren't that great. Black people probably spend the most money when it comes to Christmas. We are consumers and not producers, right. And so he came up with that because it's like, okay, well, see, since you're saying you're a Christian and the reason for the season is Jesus, which we know Jesus wasn't born in December, but since that's what you're saying, how about promote Jesus? And not the false idea of Santa. Okay. That probably fell on deaf ears. Like, what? And Al says, my stepdad's black girl side piece name was Cialis, Viagra, and Levitra. They gonna kill him and keep on messing with them. And Joe Nelson says, exactly. Omarosa got disposed like trash trying to fit into the celebrity presidential apprentice. She invited the minister. That's what Samuel was saying too. Invited Minister Farrakhan to the White House. That was an insult to the eugenics operative. Yeah, can you imagine if they had Farrakhan come to the White House? They ain't ready for that kind of truth.
Ain't happening.
Oh my God,
that is not going to happen.
Trump was like, nah.
Even Obama didn't invite him to the White House.
Yeah, well, see, Obama did. He tried to do him low, but Farrakhan told the story that we was cool. I went and met with him, and he asked me not to, mention him because he was at the time he was trying to become the senator. But then after that, he distanced himself from him, but they was thick as thieves, really. Yeah. Same thing with Jeremiah Wright.
You got to play the game.
And Farrakhan said, I realized they got to play the game, get to where you got to go. But then when he got there and didn't deliver, it's like, I probably should have just dropped the bomb. And the one says, Jesus and Santa fake. Ooh, you throwing rocks now. I see your little profile too, your little profile picture. Peter says, what's going on with the names? Are you shopping for baby names? Oh, no. The factory is shut down. There is nothing but dust and hollowness and cobwebs in this factory. Matter of fact, if you were to walk in there, you will see nothing but old equipment that is just there. And if there was something to come out of there, you just call me Mary because it would be a divine intervention.
Divine intervention. I don't know. Al's got some strong.
Baby names. The baby. Oh, Lord, let us know. The babies are the baby names.
Speaking into existence.
We ain't speaking nothing into existence. The names come from, someone said that we need to change our names. And so we were trying to think of names for me. And that's where that's coming from. And so Samuel says, we forgive everybody else. That's the whole function of the scripture redemption. Yes, we do. And in the scriptures, it does. It tells us, listen, I might come stab your eye out tonight. But, you know what? Old Testament, it says an eye for an eye, but we moved away from that. We're more or less to the whole thing of, hey, let's just forgive.
And if you sow a seed of faith, sister.
Sow a seed of faith. It will come back to you and all that other stuff. I'm going to sow a seed into this light bill. How about that? And then Samuel says, Farrakhan has a house too, and that is where he would meet. Yeah, exactly. I know that's right. Do you know who I am? Why I got to come to your house? You can come to my house. I'm just as, all that thing as you are. And then Benny says, whoa, too much information. I just wanted y'all to know that, listen, ain't no babies. I'll be 50 in like 3 years, okay? And if for whatever reason I did have a child, I'm telling Al right now that the baby would be bad. It'd be smart, but it would be bad because I wouldn't have the patience to say, sit down, stop doing that. I'm like, listen, as long as you don't burn up the house, as long as you don't kill you or me, do what you want to do. I wouldn't have that kind. That's a young girl's game right there. If having kids, I said no kids here. And so then it says, I'm going with Abadi Zarkush.
Yikes!
Can you imagine me? It sounds powerful. Me, I'm introducing myself. My name is Abadi Zarkush.
I've got the perfect name for you.
What's my name?
Because you know I'm good at naming
Okay,
things.
no, you lost me with the Shaquaqua.
Yeah, well, how about Amarusa Boo Boo?
Oh, God, no.
Or how about this one?
No, Donovan, no.
I'm just-
And Al says, baby, they don't need to know what is in your tool shed because I have the... He's supposed to say he has the key.
Yes, absolutely.
Now that is TMI. Okay, I'm silly like I was on Wednesday with man. Y'all Wednesday show.
Yes, you guys should have tuned in Wednesday. If you
Y'all gotta
haven't,
check out
if you
Wednesday
haven't
show.
done it, go on YouTube.
Man,
D was in rare form.
somebody made me go in rare form.
Yes.
Okay, I came a little bit unglued, but I'm back. And then Samuel says, "I'm 52 and want another child."
Woo!
You know what, brother?
Don't do it.
More power to you. Know what? Y'all want to hear something crazy? My daddy, who will be 74 years old, talking about I would never get myself fixed. I would have as much kids as I can. I said, I wish you would have another kid. It'll be on the cracking if you talking about I'm having a kid somewhere. Oh my God, man,
Yes.
you better not.
Yes.
And then Jonelle said Sarah was above that when she was when she had hers. You know what? I ain't Sarah. More power to Sarah. She was with Abraham.
Yeah, and they were blessed.
They was blessed. I'm blessed too, but
But we're distant. We're distant from the
I
Lord.
I do see some people my age talking about, we're having another kid. And I'm like, why?
Suicide.
Why would you want to
Suicide.
do that? And then it says, that's my name right there. Oh, that's your name. Well, you go ahead, Badidi Amon Kush. I know I jacked it up.
That's right.
And then Al says, the girls have a baby in me because every time we dance, I cry like one.
Yikes.
That's okay. It's okay to be it's okay to be sensitive sometimes. Just, show your emotions sometimes. All right. The last question and topic comes from Joseph Forrest, who is, I think, still on here. And he asked, and Jonelle says, be fruitful and multiply. I did. I multiplied with one daughter who will be 25 in a couple of days. So I did my part. If she chooses to have some kids, and she gonna multiply. But I got like 11 nieces and nephews, and 10 nieces and nephews. Maybe somebody else is having a kid. Mm-hmm. I have 10 nieces and nephews, and they're like my kids. Matter of fact, I raised some of them as my own. So I did my part, y'all. All right, so Joseph wants to know, why is the color race the only race that is exterminated in a large mass? And why are we being exterminated? Okay, so to me, the question is, that was funny, Janelle. Not the question, but what I said before. So to me, the question is, are we being exterminated?
Yes.
Okay, so have we been exterminated? Yes, we have been. Okay. And so, if so, by who? Who are we being exterminated by?
White man.
And to some degree, we're being exterminated by ourselves. But overall, most of us know.
Well, no, we're not being exterminated by ourselves. We're in training to deal with the white man. So while we're doing it every day,
right,
when the time does come,
we'll be ready?
We'll be ready.
Okay, we'll be ready. All right. And so Billy says, Amira Winter, if I marry a white woman and I had a girl, you know what? Stop it.
I love it.
All right. And so for those of you, okay, so you're here. So I'm just, you tell me if I'm on the right track, Joseph, and the rest of you. All right. So if any of you guys are familiar with the late Dr. Cress Welsing, she had a theory basically talking about white genetic survival and stopping white genetic annihilation. And so, to your point, Joseph, as to why we're being exterminated, it's because if you're familiar with the one drop rule says what? If you have a drop of blood, a black blood in you, you're black, plain and simple. And so, to her theory, and I hope I don't jack it up because I've studied her a lot, but she just had so much to say. But so basically, white people know that the more we mix with them, the less white they'll be, and eventually they'll be extinct. They'll be annihilated. And so it is and has always been their job, once they didn't need us anymore, to exterminate us. Now, a lot of you are familiar with the eugenics program, which was started back in the early 1900s. The Planned Parenthood part of it was ran by Mary Sanger. But the eugenics program was to exterminate and get rid of minorities and poor people who were considered to be a burden on society. Poor people, black people, people who weren't, mentally all there, disabled and all of that. So that was the plan, to get rid of us some way, somehow, through Planned Parenthood, which Democrats rally for Planned Parenthood. But if we were to do our research, we would know that Planned Parenthood was really designed for us. And we, as black women, we use Planned Parenthood more than anybody. In fact, what does it say? We kill off, that's a lot of, black babies per day.
Yeah.
So we are leading the pack in killing our babies through Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood, they give women contraception. They give you advice on what to do. They also participate in vasectomies and abortions and all that other stuff. And so black women, it's free for the most part if you qualify. It's free to everybody, but we use it quite a bit. Somehow we've gotten the impression that we should get rid of our babies instead of, and I think you made this point, get rid of our babies instead of raising them, figuring it out. Oh, I'm pregnant. Let me just go down to Planned Parenthood so I can get back to what I was doing.
Right. We make it seem like we put in our daughter's mind, it ruins their lives.
Right. It ruins your life to have a kid now. It doesn't make your life easy. No, that doesn't make your life easy for no matter how old you are. I mean, it's easier if you have the financial means. And that's really what it's about. Not having the financial means to take care of the child. And so we do that. We go more than any woman on the planet to go exterminate, I guess if you want to use that word, our babies.
That's what we're doing.
And so that is championed by the powers that be. Let's be honest, white people who have championed. Now, it wasn't just white people. It was the white people who deemed themselves to be the be-all, end-all of society, Rockefellers and Rothschilds, and all these big wigs in the white society who felt like what you're seeing now. The powers that be with the money. And you think about it, getting rid of Obamacare is another form of eugenics because there's a lot of people who depend on Obamacare for just pure survival. They wouldn't be able to get a lot of surgeries and afford insurance without it. And so that's a way of saying, well,
if you don't have a way to go to the doctor and see if you're well, especially when you're young and get your annual checkups,
right?
You're just eating and doing what we do. You're going to die off a lot sooner.
Right. And they know that. Yeah. And they know that a lot of us who are in the 1%, you can say, are looking for somebody else to save us. Like for me, for instance, if I knew that Obamacare was going away and I had some issues, I would change my diet. To me, that's what I would do. I would just change my diet and say, okay, let me try to get this from the inside out because I'm probably eating some stuff I ain't supposed to be eating, leading to high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, all that stuff. So let me fix my diet. That would be me. And I'm going to get you guys questions. And so, are we being exterminated? We says yes. And I just said why. And it's so, let's see what else. I talked about the eugenics program. Now, we also, this is happening to us as well because we have an inability to unify. We won't unify. And that's what it's going to take for us to solve many, if not all of our problems, to unify in every way, shape, and form. And so when we're so divided, it's easy to annihilate us. It's easy to, let's say, put our men in prison at record numbers because why? We're not going to do anything about it. We're going to hashtag and march and protest. But after that, we'll go away. And then when the next thing happens, then we'll get mad and then we'll go away. So collectively, we aren't going to do anything.
Can I use this analogy? If you take a stick by itself and you break it, very easy to break, one stick.
Right.
But if you take a bundle of sticks, very hard to break.
Very hard to break. And that's actually a beautiful analogy. And so that's part of it. And then, again, our refusal to save ourselves, that's a big problem. Because we're so busy relying on the same people and things that are killing us, that are exterminating us.
And those people that are fighting for us are getting older, and a lot of them are dying or whatever. So somebody's got to pick up that mantle.
Right.
But nobody wants to do it.
Nobody wants to do it. And so I'll get to you guys' comments and see what you guys think. Oops. Al, he said, I read something wrong. He says, the girls have a baby in me because every time we dance, I cry. The girls have a baby in me. because we cry every time we dance. I am reading that wrong. I'm sorry. My bad.
Old age.
Old age. Blame dyslexia. I don't know. And then Josie says, I'm here. And then Jonelle says, Zionist. So are you saying they're responsible for what's going on?
Yeah. Real quick, would you mind extending the show today? Since it is a holiday, you're going to be going on hiatus.
I don't mind.
By 15, 20 minutes. Okay. I want to get this question in.
Oh, no,
I
don't mind. No, I don't mind. Because he's saying, because you know what, last week, remember we were supposed to, that was supposed to be our last week, and then we talked, it was like, wait a minute. We actually got another week, so we were a little bit premature in leaving. So I'm going to extend it for a little while longer, if you guys don't mind. And then so Samuel says, the good, godly should have more children to offset all of the unconscious masses. In the revelation, that is who the beast odd out to kill. So you're saying that we should have more kids? I'll tell you what. Y'all can have all the kids you want, but me, I watch y'all have some kids. Donovan, you go ahead and have.
No, you know I'm done.
Okay.
It's like you said, they give this stuff out for free in Planned Parenthood,
right?
Birth control, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not talking about ripping the girl out and taking her parts. But yet these girls are still ending up pregnant, which I just don't understand. If I'm
all
in a situation
out there,
right? If I'm in a situation where I'm being raised in the hood, or I don't have the economic means to support a baby, how am I ending up pregnant?
Honestly, I just think there's not enough to do. Lack of education. I mean, you're probably a product of your environment.
Right. But I'm looking out for myself. So, I'm not saying don't have sex, but I'm just saying how do you
don't have sex if you a kid. If you can't afford to take care of your baby and you don't have yourself together, don't have sex.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, even the girls who are in college, you're like, well, wait a minute. How are you ending up pregnant? I just don't.
Irresponsible.
I don't understand it.
And so Billy says, yes, we are, but we're the first and will be the last. That's the universe outcome. No, I agree. But we need to stop the bleeding, if you want to call it that. We need to stop the bleeding to where we are being exterminated, because I believe that we are. But it's through multiple things. And so, and
if you need an example, a lot of people don't believe that. They just say, we're not being exterminated. Look what happened to the Indian.
Right.
The military, the government, it had treaty after treaty with these people, and just intentionally exterminated
they did some things to them.
Right. And so they were red-skinned. We're next on the list.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And we've been on the list.
Be on a reservation.
Yeah, the problem is we're like, and I hate to use this analogy, but we're hard like roaches. We just won't go away.
Oh my God. Yeah. And Jonelle says the white nation have a God complex. The whole Zionist eugenics program is to exterminate and supplant. We the black nation, the original people of the planet. Mathematics show all comes from, the black woman. So the synagogue of Satan desire our position, invested in their own Holocaust, and claimed it with a day, compared to our 400 years Holocaust that continues to this present day. Yeah. No, absolutely. Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right. And that's really, at the end of the day, what it's all about.
And if you look at some of these modern day billionaires and whatever, Rupert Murdoch, they've made statements that they need to depopulate the world. And they're behind a lot of what's going on.
And so you just watch. That's why it's Obamacare and all this other stuff. Let's raise the taxes.
Right. And they would use their sitcoms and make a person a star.
Absolutely.
Just so that person could put that message out.
Absolutely. But you know what? People ain't listening to that. Yeah. It's just a television show.
No, it's more than a television show.
And then Al says, my stepdad knows nothing about eugenics. Pretty sure as hell. Pretty sure as hell knows a lot about nutrigenics. I don't know what that is.
Nutrigenics. I think that's the multiplication of children.
See. All right. And then Jonelle says the Zionist Jews orchestrated and regulated slavery and is documented in books. That's why they dislike the book's secret relationship between blacks and Jews, our mental damage, and the exploitation of our unity by the Zionist bankers is stopping our unity and self-love. Absolutely. And we are helping them with that.
Yeah,
we are. And like you always say, it's going to start with self-love. We got to love ourselves so we can love each other. And Joseph says, most of the men now are gay, and you can break that real easy. Oh my, I'm scared to ask how. But no, you're absolutely right. That plays a big part into it. A lot of homosexuality is running around, especially in our community. In fact, it's promoted. Name me one rapper that is white that you see running around in a dress with
Talk about how hard he is.
or nail polish and makeup. Name one white rapper that is doing that is promoted and giving all this money, and just to get out there and just money.
Mumble rap, right?
Name one.
Yeah.
I don't know of any. In fact, my daughter was telling me Eminem just got an 8-figure deal from HBO to produce something. So I wonder how much of garbage content that would be.
That's going to be, right?
It's probably not going to be very much. And then, so let's see. Al says, not the girls. You have a baby in me when we dance. Now I got you. There was a reason why I was messing that one up. You wildin'. And Sammy says, consider 3 lilies of the field. 3 lilies of the field. Is that something biblical? I think that it is. And so Benny says, we are despised by every other group on this planet because we are seen as a threat, and we are also seen as the most disposable and deplorable people on the planet, and we have nothing to contribute. Let's see more. Nothing to contribute. I hate when I lose my place. Nothing to contribute to the world except free labor. But when slavery became unacceptable to society, then they see no need for us anymore. So now they just see us as in the way. That's just not whites in America, but all groups. No, absolutely.
I agree with you, Benny, but guess what? They've come back to the realization that slavery might be a good thing since we ain't doing nothing.
Shit.
That's why Libya.
Tried getting me on the plantation.
Right, but look what's going on in Libya.
Right.
They're outright doing it. And America, the bastion of freedom and hope and all this, refuses to do a damn thing.
What? I wouldn't doubt if we somehow, you'd be looking for your homie and be like, damn, I ain't seen, Rufus in a while.
Cleophas.
And then you get snatched up and then you see his ass on the plantation. He just got snatched up and you're all oh my God.
Well, there a lot of municipalities argue about the money in the budget. Like when your city has trash all over the place. Back in the day, before all these liberals came in, when you're a prisoner, you have lost your rights. So they could use you as slave labor to clean up the city. Just basic stuff. Even our juveniles. Just have them go out there and clean up the city. You don't like it, don't create any more crimes.
Right.
And they use that as an excuse. That's why our cities are being decayed and things like that, because we're not using the resources that are given to us to use these prisoners. These guys are sitting up there chilling. Free education, free medical.
They're talking about prison.
Yeah, they're just doing it.
Right. So. And then Al says, word of advice. What was the name? What was the name of Bobby B's first single?
Slow Down.
Oh, because he talks about I speak and read too fast. Slow down.
I just want to get to know it. That song's for Amanda.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't see any more questions. Donovan, what do you got for me? And if you guys have anything you want to talk about, please feel free to chime in. I don't see any more comments, so I'll get to them when I see them.
I want to extend the show a little bit because you told me to remind you of this.
Okay.
We wanted to talk about it on the show. We had a good topic on that, but we're going to extend the show a little bit because it's the holidays. We're not going to see you in a couple of weeks, and I'm going to be gone. So
hold on, give me one more question. Exactly, the Zionists from Jonelle. Exactly, the Zionists, the shadow is a shadow government and so-called Illuminati, as well as the police. American police is trained in Israel. We are prey to other projections of us due to our division. Let's see more. Oops. Due to our provision. Due to our division, we the Jesus on the cross, head don't think for self, feet and hands bound for the benefit of whites and others. Absolutely. Yes, and Benny says, exactly. Why do you think they choose blacks over there? And so he's talking about Libya.
Exactly.
Samuel says, the lilies of the field, they work not, yet God chose them. We should plan and have means to support, but that's not a reason to get an abortion. No, absolutely.
Right. You're 100% right.
All right, so go.
I'm glad you guys are on things. But you guys, please check out Dee's YouTube page. If you want to, you're sitting around Christmas time or whatever, got nothing to do, check out our Christmas page. I'm telling you, watch last week's show. Dee was in rare form.
And I'll probably never be in that form again.
Okay, good.
Just so you know.
You got to get it out. But do you feel better?
I always feel better.
Well, after that, did you feel better?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
Okay, good. This is very important. You told me to remind you.
Okay.
Young men being responsible.
Okay.
And this goes back to an incident to where you were, not you, but where a woman was put in a position to where these men don't know common sense things.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in a house with somebody and they let a stranger come in,
Right.
or an in-law come in.
Right.
So could you kind of, you know where I'm going with that question?
So you're basically saying, because we talked about this on our show on Wednesday as well, our other show. I guess I kind of had a question. It was kind of all over the place, but how can men teach their sons to be men in relationships, or like to be the man
in the relationship?
Because nowadays you see a lot of, and maybe in our generation too, but
No, Book of Ike always told us the
Book
way.
of Ike
Book of
and,
Ike told us.
Dr. Shahrazad Ali.
Yes. We talked about that
The
Wednesday.
black man's.
If you follow
guide to
those two
understanding
books,
the black woman.
Yes. If you follow those 2 books, you shouldn't have any problems in your
All right.
household.
Well, I wouldn't suggest the Book of Ike to anybody, but if it works for you.
Right.
So I guess the question that I had was, what can you guys as men, and specifically black men, teach your sons how to be the man in a relationship? Because we see some of these guys, especially a lot of these younger guys, they think they want to be in a relationship, they want to be married, but then they end up with women who just want roughshod them. Not only over them, but just their whole entire situation, their family just come in.
They bring in anybody.
Yeah.
You got to put your foot down.
Just ricochet nonsense throughout the family, and this causes schism and division where
on
there
the other
wasn't
side of the
one.
family, right?
Right. So what would you guys? What would you say to your son? I guess just one word of advice would you have to your son to say, this is how you choose a woman, and this is how you deal with it. Because we use the analogy of, a lot of you guys have seen The Color Purple. So we want to know, what do you do to avoid being in Mr's situation where Sophia comes marching up to the house, and then Harpo's behind her, and she's like, "You ain't going nowhere. You coming home with me. You having this baby."
I happen to know your daddy threw you out.
Yeah. And so, how do you avoid?
Ain't cold enough.
Yeah, and and Mr. says to Harpo, "Don't you move.
Don't you move."
Like, basically, he said, "I don't care what her situation
Right.
is. You ain't bringing her up into the family."
Right.
They ended up getting married and all that anyway. She ended up,
and everything his dad said came truth.
Yeah. So what do you say to that one piece of advice to stop your son from getting with a woman who is just
manipulative and in some cases they're not manipulative, they're just strong-willed.
Very strong-willed, and which turns into being manipulative and just destroying the whole, not destroying, but trying to do things to destroy the family unit. You know what I mean? And then she says slavery in Libya. Yeah, I mean, slavery in Libya and a couple other places in hell is we got slavery in America too. It's called the penal system.
Yeah.
So Sammy says, you can't teach what you don't know, and you can't lead where you won't go. I need to put that on a
brother.
t-shirt.
Yes, preach.
Absolutely. And so I guess what you're saying is a lot of men are having sons that are ending up with women like that because perhaps they're with women like that. Perhaps they're in that situation and they're just like, well, this is what I know to do because perhaps I saw my father do it, with a very headstrong woman. And there's nothing wrong with being a woman who is sure of herself.
My mom is the prime example of strong, but I am totally opposite of what she taught me.
Right.
My mom thinks I'm the most chauvinistic.
You are.
And she doesn't know where I get it from because I wasn't raised that way. Really, seriously. I wasn't raised that way. But it's just the idea that I had an identity that I knew I was a man.
Right.
And a man is more, I can't be a man, and this is my opinion, with this woman telling me what to do all the time. It's a partnership, but at the same time, let me stay in my lane.
You ain't finna just be...
Right.
Yeah, man, to your point, like my dad says, he said, ain't no woman finna be, running me all over the place and telling me what to do and taking my manhood. He always says that. I guess that's kind of why he says
unless it has to do with his daughter. So, Mr. Coulter, Amanda could do whatever she wants.
And so Al says, the only way a man can teach young men how to be is just lead by example. Remain faithful to your mate. He drops the mic. Yeah, I mean, but I'm saying, because there are men that remain faithful to their mate, but that mate sometimes is a lot. She is just the most. In some of the situations that I've seen with just different people, that's not something that I've done because I haven't seen that in an example from my mother. With the men that she's with, I never saw her just rolling her neck and acting all kind of stupid and stuff. So when I see that, I'm thinking, wow, that is just so Crazy. And then Benny says, Al actually gave a great answer. The only way to teach them is to show them in the home. Lead by example. Mm-hmm. That is true. And so I guess also to Samuel's point, Al's point, and your point, Benny, if they don't see that, then, or if they see a man being led by a woman who is very headstrong, then that's what they'll get. And I'll tell you guys a funny story as you get ready to ask, because you had another question for me too?
Yeah, I had another question too.
A funny story. My daughter